Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Masters Podcast. Today we'll be speaking about one of the hottest topics between the IT industry, and that's about AI. My name is Philip and I'm a software engineer at AXM365 for more than 4 years. So basically I'm mostly working with Dynamics 365 and Copilot Studio. So here with me is Bojan, our AI enthusiast.
Yes, so I'm working at AXM365 as well. I'm a senior technical consultant. I've been here for more than 5 years, and the last 2 years I have been focusing on Microsoft Fabric and implementation of AI solutions, especially integrated inside of business applications such as Dynamics.
Okay, so Microsoft is really investing into AI and bringing their products more close to the people and making them more easier to work with. So my question is, do you think it is worth this hype for AI? Does it really benefit that much to the industry?
Well, in my opinion, I think that the opinions are a little bit split. So we see that AI label everywhere around us. So we see AI ERP, AI solution, AI vacuum cleaner, but it's not always everything with AI. Currently, the hype is so big that many, let's say, industries are also using it for marketing purposes. But if we are speaking about the real AI technologies and the benefits that, let's say, one company can have utilizing them, then of course the possibilities are really endless. You mentioned that Microsoft is investing a lot of money inside of, especially we are seeing about with the Copilot agents and all those technologies, but that's only one, I would say, one piece of the whole cake that is called AI. So people very often think that AI started or let's say was invented two or 3 years ago when ChatGPT went live. But that's not the case. AI is around in the IT sphere for more, I don't know, 50, 60 years.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just now it got commercialized. I think that people are lacking the knowledge of all the possibilities that AI technologies offer and how the businesses can benefit from them. I mean, generative AI is okay, of course, but there are also another possibilities that can provide to the business a lot of value, automation and optimization. I would mention here computer vision, for example, or maybe language understanding, then text extraction from documents. So all those, object recognition. So all those services actually can provide value to the business, but I think it's still a little bit chaotic. For example, clients are still not sure what the technology is, how it can be utilized, and it's still a little bit of a mystery.
Yeah, so what do you think, how can AI transfer business processes into one company, into one business?
What do you mean?
How can AI help the business and their business processes? I mean, what are the
benefits
the main benefits? And
I think the biggest benefit is automating part of the business process that is repetitive. Especially in business processes where we have a lot of manual workload that is repetitive and can be, let's say, replaced by an algorithm doing it.
Bots
or agents. That is very, let's say, helpful, and it can really improve the business process itself in terms of efficiency, in terms of speed. So, for example, if we have, let's say, order intake process that a manual person is creating all the orders into the system, and we are automating it with an AI technology. Then if it took one person whole day to process 100 orders, now it will take like 5 minutes. And we are saving here work labor, and we are saving time, and we will be delivering the goods to the customers faster. So we are gaining efficiency on multiple fields of the whole process execution.
Yeah, also it is really included into sales, where it can analyze big amounts of data, lots of data from previous sales, previous sales, and see which products are mostly sold, which products are not that frequently sold. And it can, based on that data, it can allow us an overview and help us produce those goods that are more needed for a faster period and have them ready for our customers who buy them.
Exactly.
And
better planning and more accurate planning, and probably also saving waste of resources and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so basically what the AI can do is it can get insights from the data much better than a human can do. So imagine a person looking at all the sheets of data about production, about how much was produced this month, last month, and then just trying to do analysis to predict how much, let's say, items it should produce.
Yeah, it should produce.
Yeah.
It should.
And this is simplified a lot just by creating one algorithm or agent that can do the same.
Yeah, and also they can, let's say, based on that data, they can create an orders to order the products that they need in order to produce the other products, or create it can automatically create a purchase order, sales orders, and production orders, plant orders, and all of that
that's
stuff.
actually the future of the ERP.
Exactly.
So that's the future, to have everything automated, and a person just to oversee what's happening and just to approve those things. But the person should not create the order manually anymore, but rather it should be automatically created, and the person just needs to approve it and monitor it. So that's the whole purpose.
Exactly. Okay, so but also let's speak about, so we talked about sales and ERP and everything. Let's talk about a little bit about medicine, because it is really, right now it is really helpful in the medicine. Like I know you worked a lot with predictive algorithms and everything. Can you tell us more about that? What do you think it's the most beneficial part in the medicine from using AI? Yeah,
well, definitely AI in medicine has been proven to be, let's say, a very good companion. Even a long time ago, before this generative AI hype got in the world, basically we have now, in medicine, we have now models, machine learning models that are analyzing the data of the patients, and then based on that data can predict, let's say, some kind of a stage of a disease. For example, if we have a cancer and we have different stages, and the model based on the data of the patient can predict much earlier whether the patient will get some stage of disease rather than a human expert can. So now
I think the accuracy is like really high, like 80% or something.
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe more nowadays with more advanced algorithms, but I think up to last year it was like 80%.
Yes, but there is also a catch, because it's not always the accuracy that counts there. So it really needs to be. I would not leave AI technology to bring decisions, but rather I would combine it with a human mind in order to get the final decision. The AI should never get the final decision, because it can always be biased, and it can always be trained on scenarios that we would like them to be trained. But when it comes to an unknown scenario, it can fail.
Yeah,
very
exactly.
easily.
It cannot verify the data that we are sending, so it's trained based on the data,
Yeah.
I mean, and if we manipulate with the data, it will be trained differently.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, it's AI, so it does not have to be taken for granted, but it's a huge breakthrough and helping a lot.
It's actually, it's very important for people to understand that the training part of the AI model is very important. So whatever type of data you are feeding the model to be trained on, that will be the output as well. And here we are also talking about data protection and stuff like that that are part of responsible AI. But we also had example with a client where we were implementing solution with AI, where we needed a proper training data set in order for the model to be able to predict values accurately. But basically the client was scared, didn't have the trust to provide us the real data, the accurate data. And he provided some kind of a sample data, but that was not representative enough for the model to work well in production. Because if we would like that model to work in production, that model needs to be trained on production data, not on some kind of a sample
data, because it would not be that accurate.
Yeah.
But I think Microsoft has the trust system where they verify you that the data you're providing for training the models will be used only for your model, only for your tenant, let's say, for your system, and not outside of it. And that's why, let's say, the Copilot as a product is a little bit with less. It's not that complex as ChatGPT, because it is not being retrained on the data that we are using, that we are prompting to it.
Yes, Microsoft, basically all products that are coming from Microsoft related to AI are following the 6 pillars of responsible AI. Those are fairness, transparency, security, protection, accountability. So those are principles that are basically like unwritten laws that basically every solution that we create needs to be compliant to those principles if we want to avoid ethical concerns, and if we want to avoid let's say some kind of failures or disasters happening to our business. And Microsoft is implementing in every service they offer, in every product they offer, including AI, it's incorporated into their products. Yeah.
So, okay, you mentioned that. So we established that Microsoft is really does really provide you a great security for it. So right now, my question is: you said that one of your customers did not want to provide you data. So what are the prerequisites for a customer to start implementing AI into their business? How can you, let's say, be sure that they're the right customer and be on the same page that they would like to implement AI in their corporation, in their system?
Well, this is an interesting question, because when I was several months ago in Chicago on a conference, one implementation partner was speaking about their implementing AI solutions. And one lady, probably a customer, she raised a hand and she asked, like, okay, we want to implement AI in our system. How much time will it take? And the presenter told her, but what would you like to implement with AI? What's the exact process that you would like to optimize? And she was like, we want to have AI in our system. How much time, how much effort is it? And this is the real example where I realized that clients very often do not understand the concept of AI. Okay, exactly. So it's not something that you plug and play and you just expect magic to come, but rather it should be understood as a completely new way of development, new technology that you can optimize anything you want with it But there are different types, as I mentioned on the start, there are different types of algorithms that can do different stuff or different magic. And we really need to assess the business process and to see what type of algorithm could benefit. And not everything can be automated with the AI. That's also one of the problems that people think that, okay, we will automate everything with AI. Well, that's not the case. Sometimes you will just break the process if you infuse AI inside of it. Yeah. So I would say that the first prerequisite is awareness, like raising awareness to the potential client about customer, about the AI technologies, what are the capabilities. Then also just creating one kind of a bond of trust, where, as I mentioned, the problem with the trust issues with the data.
Give the data to
because clients, if they are not aware of the technology itself, they will be very skeptical about it, and they would expect. People need to understand that this is not like you develop a button on a form, and when you click the button, something happens. This is very something abstract, and it's working. It's not working deterministic. Like when you create a button, it's always deterministic. You click it and you always expect the same result. But when you're using an AI technology, it's non-deterministic and it's working with probability. So 90 times it can work on the same example, it can work well as expected, but one time it can fail. And that's totally acceptable, because it's not, it's just having its own will of doing stuff. It's not like strictly coded how to
exactly
work.
Like you give 100 people to do the same kind of work and they'll do it differently.
But even one person
one of them
can make a mistake on the 100th order, and he knows how to create orders, but he can do mistake on the 100th order. So that's also the risk that customers need to accept when they want to implement. And also because otherwise they will have trust issues and they will blame the implementation partner. Oh, but this is not working as expected all the time. Yeah, but nobody said that it will work all the time.
But I think mostly, let's say it depends. So sorry for interrupting you. I think it depends of the core business of the customer. I think it depends from which kind of business the customer is coming. That's how they are supportive of AI, how open to AI, open-minded to AI is. I guess like those that are more working in IT sales or I don't know, some production, manufacturing, but let's say not that, they're more open to AI than those who are more like educational, governance related businesses. I guess it's because of the type of the sensitive data, but at the end, that's why they are built trusts and everything, and
but that's the job of the implementation partner, I would say, to gain the trust into the client. So he really needs to explain the technology, the principles that he will be guided while implementing the solution, like that the data will be protected, will not be misused, so if everything is explained, I believe the trust will come from the customer side by default.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, and let's speak about more, let's say, about automating business processes. So what is the approach that IXM 365 do for new customers when implementing AI in their business?
Yeah, well, we at IXM 365 basically have a very strategic roadmap when it comes to implementing AI solutions to our clients. We have several stages or epochs. We start first with sessions we call them AI awareness sessions, where we explain exactly what we were speaking now to the clients. So we give them awareness about the AI technology itself, about the products that Microsoft is providing out of the box, such as Copilot agents for finance and operation, for supply chain, Microsoft 365 agents. So we provide them just an overview of all the possibilities that they can use already in order to automate their everyday processes, everyday tasks at work, and to be more productive and more efficient. Yeah. And once we provide them that awareness and we, let's say, gain that trust from the customer, we go to the next phase where we actually do workshop with the customer. It can be with a specific department of the industry or maybe multiple departments. And on that workshops, basically what we do is we detect all the pain points in the business processes that are wasting a lot of time to be executed, that are basically spending a lot of resources. And once we detect all those pain points, we basically, for each one of them, we provide details how complex it is to be automated, how much effort will it take to be automated, what type of AI automation we will use, what type of algorithm, let's say. So all those kind of statistics we provide for each pain point. And then we, through a metric system, we score all those pain points that can be automated, and then we put them on a chart where we see what, for example, something might be very good to be automated, but it will cost a lot. And then we maybe have some process that is nice to be automated and it will cost very less. Then we can maybe pick that one up. We are actually afterwards doing cherry picking based on the customer needs, and priorities, and when we circle and detect which business processes can be automated using an AI technology, afterwards we are continuing to the phase 3, which is actually where we provide first a proof of concept about the automation, the automated solution, where the customer can see in life, let's say, how the system will react and how the business process will be automated on some sample data. Because when implementing solutions with AI technologies, we can very often come to a dead end where just the idea of the automation in our head was very good, but when it comes to implementing it, we just have technical limitations that just do not fulfill the expectations. And that is why we never go with full force into implementation, but rather we start always with a proof of concept. If the proof of concept is working fine, the expectations are fulfilled, then we are just upgrading it into a full solution.
Otherwise would be spending lots of resources.
If not, we are abandoning it, because we don't want to abandon something that we have spent a lot of money inside of that, but we want to cut it off on start if it's not showing the expectations. So this is the full roadmap, but sometimes, for example, some customer wants to only do the awareness stage. Some customer maybe knows what process he wants to automate, so we don't need to do a workshop. So we are going directly to the stage 3. But for customers that just are not sure what they want to do, but they really want to invest money into AI automation, we suggest the full roadmap.
Okay, nice. That's really good, because otherwise spending lots of money on something that at the end it's not gonna work and it's not gonna help you, it's nonsense, and it's not okay for the customer. No one will be happy.
Somebody will get fired.
Exactly. Okay, so Microsoft products for AI. Let's talk about a little bit about them. What do we offer to the customers, to our customers? What have you implemented from your side? And then I'll speak about what I have implemented, what I have worked with, and etc.
Well, basically from Microsoft side, what Microsoft,
the out of the box,
Microsoft offers out of the box, those are, I will start with Azure AI services. So the computer vision, the text recognition, the speech translation, all those, Microsoft has already a pre-built models that they are offering for you to create one of them and fine-tune it on your own data, and then to use it completely without writing any code, just I would say just plug, train, and play.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. Like it's
Pretty simple,
really
yeah.
not that expensive for the customers to implement, and for
Yeah, it doesn't take much time. It's already predefined. You just train it and use it. It's really a very nice model of implementation. Another approach is also using the AI builder models from Microsoft Power Platform. So basically, some of the functionalities that we already have in Azure AI services are replicated into the Power Platform ecosystem, but they are with a little bit different politic, with a little bit different pricing and limitations, but underlying them are the same algorithms as in Azure. It's the same as Power Automate flows and logic apps, basically. So those are the ones that you would like to utilize if you want to stick to, let's say, traditional AI and not the generative AI. Although you also have in Azure AI Foundry and also in Azure AI Services, agents and bots services. But if you want to really create Copilot agents, like strictly Copilot agents, not like GPT agents and other generative models, but if you would like to stick to the Copilot agents, then of course Copilot Studio is here where you are the expert.
Yeah, and with the latest releases, it's been like really nice. They've come out with lots of new stuff that it can do. They've implemented agent-to-agent communication, where one agent can communicate to another agent. Like one agent will ask another agent to do a task, and that agent will come up with the result and give it to the other agent. There are also other tasks which you can, let's say, ask the agent to perform them out of the box, not only on, let's say, Microsoft products like D365 or something, but it can go search on the internet, like do some tasks on the internet and return you the result, or fill in some data on some websites.
Yeah, exactly. Pay you bills.
Yeah, definitely. Execute some scripts on the computers. Like it can really replicate the human, and for things that you needed human before, like you can have the Copilot do your thing, your Copilot agent do your thing, and they expanded the knowledge sources. You can have more knowledge sources. Right now, they did a really great indexation on SharePoint, where it can indexate all the pages, all the documents from the SharePoint, and return data really quick based on it. Yeah, there are more channels right now. It can be, the Copilot agents can be published to lots of channels.
Yeah, but I think also what the let's say the most biggest breakthrough was the MCP, Model Context Protocol, that they invented, where you can connect to an external system or any data source without actually, so basically you do not need to connect now to Dataverse in order to get data from FNO, but you can directly connect to the ERP. You can connect to any system and the agent itself can perform actions there. So basically that communication between the agent and the external systems is now streamlined without you needing to worry about any kind of protocols or anything, which is amazing. And you also mentioned the agent-to-agent, but I also saw that it also supports agent-to-agent communication, for example, because I don't know if you know, in Fabric there are also AI agents you can create. So the agent-to-agent protocol is also supporting that communication between Copilot agents and Fabric agents. So for example, you might have in Fabric some data storages for reporting and stuff like that, and you have an agent there which can get the data from there and communicate with your Copilot agent. And I mean, the possibilities are endless if you see how you can connect all the pieces between each other, but it's always you need to have strategic approach, what you want to do, what you want to achieve. Otherwise, you will just...
I think the possibilities are only limited with our minds. The most difficult thing about using AI and, let's say, Copilot agents and everything to achieve something is to get that solution into your head and, like, think of the solution, get the idea. So the implementation right now with the Microsoft that's making it more simple, it's easier than getting what do you want to achieve. So it's easier to achieve it, but it's more difficult to think
plan
about
it and how it will work. Yeah,
exactly. And as I mentioned, it's difficult to come up with a product, to plan the product, how it's gonna look, what it has to do to help you. And I mentioned at the beginning that you have worked with it. So here at AXM365 we have built several products with AI. Right now building one for L1 support automation, and there is one for AI order intake. Can you please tell us more about that one and explain what kind of technologies do you use, where you have implemented it for which customers, and tell us more what were the biggest
challenges
to implement it to the customer.
Yes, basically the AI order automator was the first product that we started implementing using an AI technology. The idea behind the product itself came from a real scenario where a client wanted somehow to automate the manual process. So basically the customer had employees which were receiving orders on daily schedule in some mailbox, and they were manually going into the F&O and creating sales order one by one for each received document. Mm-hmm. And that was where we saw opportunity that we can automate it using an AI technology. So the AI technology that we used in the background is text extraction model, which is basically you provide him a document in a PDF format or a JPEG or anything. You provide him, and the model is learning before it's trained on some documents, some order documents from the past, and knows where every, let's say, type of data is located, and it's extracting it. For example, the item identification number, customer name, customer address, all those relevant information in order for us to have a successful order creation. And then once that data is extracted from the AI model, it's sent to the F&O service in a JSON format, where there is parsed and a real sales order is created. So here we also...
I'll interrupt you a little bit. How much data did you needed to train the models?
Yeah, so...
And do you use you mentioned you use the pre-trained model, right?
Yes.
From Microsoft, not a custom model.
Yeah, so the good thing about using a pre-trained model from Microsoft is that you can fine-tune it with your own examples to be even more accurate for your business cases. While if you train a custom model from scratch, then you need a lot of examples in order to gain the same accuracy as the pre-built one. So we always tend to use, for that solution, we always tend to use pre-built one and to fine-tune it with customer examples rather than to create a custom from scratch, because it's more time efficient, cost efficient, and it's providing better results. Yeah. So basically, the ones that we are suggesting here is the one from Power Platform, while there is also same technology inside Azure as an Azure service. It's called Document Intelligence, but it's a bit more expensive, and it's usually used if we want to have high scalability and if we have a higher workload of data of orders incoming. But for now, everywhere where we have implemented it, the one from the Power Platform was sufficient, and the cost is basically it's spending credits that you already have. If you have a Power Platform environment, tenant, license, you already have some credits, so the cost is very, let's say, from Power Platform side, it's minimal, yeah.
Okay, so sorry for interrupting you. About the model, you can continue and tell us more about the automation. And I think you stopped at when the orders are into
F&O?
They're
coming into F&O. Yes, so basically we have paid full attention not to create a real sales order from the data, but rather to create a draft, as we call them, orders, so that is a custom form. So all those orders processed from the AI model are going into the draft orders form, like a staging form. And there we have human expert, human responsible, who will validate the data that the model extracted and the data from the document, and to provide if the model has accurately extracted everything. If not, he can do a correction, and if everything is okay, he can approve it. Why we are implementing this? As I said, we do not want AI model to bring decisions by itself, but we want it to help to the human person to make the human to make the decision faster.
Yeah,
actually.
Exactly.
So
the repetitive work of entering the orders.
Yeah, that is automated completely.
So.
But the validation of the data and of the accuracy is left on the human, not on the AI model.
And the performance is really more.
Yeah, definitely. If you have, I mean, imagine if you have 100 orders and a person needs to manually input them in the system. If they have like 2 or 3 or 5 lines per order, that's not a problem. But what if you have orders with hundreds of lines and you need to click on every line manually and just to input some data that is completely automated now.
It's like imagine FNO without the scripts to correct some data.
Yeah,
you have to do everything manually.
Yeah, and now you cannot complain that the sales order form is slow because you don't have to insert the lines anymore manually. Everything is automated.
Yeah, exactly. And at how many customers you have implemented this so far, and do you do, let's say, a little bit of customizations for them, customize the product to be according to their needs, or you give it as a out of the box and they can straightforward use it?
Yeah, so far we have implemented it to 3 customers, and we are currently speaking with multiple potential customers that are interested into the same product. Mm-hmm. So I hope that next year, this time, this number will be doubled, if not tripled, because after the conferences where people discovered that we have implemented something like this, were very interested into it. It was very fun, beneficial for them. Exactly. To see what gains they can achieve from implementing the same solution. So the interest is quite high, I would say, at this moment. You mentioned about the how the architecture of the solution is, how we implement it. So basically we have a core solution that we provide as a binary package, as an ISV, which can work by itself, but it contains only the most fundamental functionalities. Mm-hmm. And then, because every customer has some kind of a customizations in the order intake process, like that business process is the most customized, I think, exactly. in FNO. So that is why, on top of that, we are, if needed, we are implementing customized extended model with all the relevant customizations for the customer itself. Mm-hmm. And the ownership of that code is to the customer, of course, because that is basically going as a change requests. Yeah. So that is how we have implemented it to work, and so far that type of architecture is working perfectly. And we are also the core model. We are delivering updates from time to time that are compliant with the service updates from Microsoft, so it's always working seamlessly. But also, if we decide to include some feature that we would think that all the customers that are using the product will benefit, we are also providing that with the update of the next update of the package.
Okay. And how long does it take to fully implement it into the customer's environment? Let's say, let's skip the first prerequisite parts where the workshops and everything, like directly implement.
For this solution, to make the initial setup and proof of concept without any customizations, it's 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. So 2 weeks to install it, to set up the Power Platform site, to set up the model and everything, to train it, in total 2 weeks. And if the customer wants some additional customization, that's per estimation per customization, right?
Yeah. Okay, that's pretty quick. And how long? Yeah, in those 2 weeks, they test it on, let's say, UAT environment, and they go to from the beginning to, let's say, using in production, it's like how long does it take for them to test it, to realize that it's really beneficial for them, and they go with it on production system?
Usually we provide a 3 months window where key users or the business stakeholders can test the solution and to see whether it fits their requirements and their expectations or not. So we provide kind of a trial license for that for 3 months, and after that license is expired, and the business cannot use the product. It's useless basically.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, like every product that everyone is selling. Okay, and it's available in the market.
Yeah, it's from this January. It was officially released to App Stores, and there is inside of the product that we offer as XM365. It can be found there with detailed description about the product and contact for interested people.
Yeah, nice. And so I mentioned another product that we here at XM365 are building. So the L1 support automation. That one is, let's say, I can say for me it's a better technology. Maybe it's not directly for ERP systems, but it's for every, let's say, enterprise organization that provides some kind of support. And we all know that L1 support is sometimes not the best that we want, and with this product we tend to achieve better
response time.
Yeah, better response time, and actually try to give the customers, let's say, resolution of their case, not just response time to, let's say, because we can achieve it with a chatbot. Just take what the customer wants, just take the ticket and create a ticket in Jira or whatever system they use.
Yeah, we also want to provide them solution, not just a response.
Also provide a solution, but not just any kind of solution, but a solution that would really help them. Can you tell us more about the technology? What kind of technologies are combined? How it is achieved, and when can we expect it on the market?
The last one is a tough question. So basically, this implementation is still in a proof of concept phase. We are working with Copilot agents specifically, so everything is inside of the Copilot environment, I would say. As you mentioned, it doesn't have really correlation with ERP or CRM systems, but rather it's more of a ServiceNow product or a product for helping
help desk,
service desk and the first line support, where we want to provide because usually the problems that arise to the L1 team are often very repetitive, and there are some knowledge bases, procedures where the L1 team goes and looks for an answer to the problem, right? And that knowledge can be easily materialized, and it can be served to the agent as a knowledge source in order for the agent to search for an answer. So now when a new ticket comes from a customer, instead of person going to document, searching in this document, in that document, that is done by the Copilot agent in 3 seconds, and is providing an answer if needed. So that is still, as I said, in a proof of concept phase. We're still experimenting, defining the whole architecture and the whole business process flow. But I would suggest to have some kind of initial version in 2 or 3 months, where we will be able to brag a little bit with what we have created.
So right now, while talking, I came up with another idea how we can, let's say, expand it. Because right now it is also using communication between agents. So let's say for the customers as well, we can use an additional agent, which, let's say, our L1 support agent would communicate and provide the solution, and the other agent, which will be at the customer site, would execute the steps needed. So
yeah, that's the future of AI basically, where we will have agents on our side, agents on customer side, and they will communicate between each other without us needing to interfere. But that is probably for several years from now on. Because as it looks very nice in our head and it sounds very amazing, when you start to implement it,
it's not
you see that it's not all roses and flowers.
Exactly. And the other question here is, how will that affect the businesses? Will it result in lots of people getting fired?
Interesting question.
I mean, it's one of the. That's why lots of people are being afraid of.
Yes, that's understandable because this is something new going to in the world. We see that it's rapidly moving things. It's rapidly shifting, let's say, the need of job duties and roles, because we can see now that many things that we thought that we need person to work on, now they can be automated, and so the manual workload is gone. But I think that, in my opinion, it will be the same as, let's say, industrial revolution back in several centuries ago. So back then we had everything created manually, and then industrial revolution happened and everything got automated. So people were not longer making products, but machines started to make them. But that doesn't mean that people didn't have what to do. I think that by the expansion of AI, maybe some professions will die, but some new professions will arise, and people will need to shift towards them and to adapt. And there's one saying that AI will not replace a doctor, but doctor that uses AI in his work will replace the one who is not doing. So that, I think that that is applicable for every profession, and that is why we, even internally in our company, we tend to do that change management and to adapt people to start using AI tools in order to gain more efficiency, because they really help.
Yeah, they really. Although, I mean, everyone is using it at least at work. Instead of Google for something, everyone uses.
But that's the purpose. It's not cheating. It's making you more efficient, and that is how it should be.
You should use everything that you're given to make to make life easier.
To get best out of it.
Yeah, the best out of it. So my last question here is, and the last topic for today is, what are the plans for AXM365 with AI?
Well, as we discussed before, currently we are working on the proof of concept for the L1 automation, but we are also having some other ideas that I cannot really speak about now, but maybe in some next podcast we can also discuss them. So it's really also for us something new, that we are having a brainstorming sessions about some implementations that we can do. So for now, the things that we have discussed are the ones that are, let's say, hot topics, but also we have upfront we have some conferences. You are one of the speakers there in USA, where we'll be speaking about the AI technologies. So maybe you can tell a bit about your session.
At the NI Community Summit in North America, that's in Orlando this year, I will be speaking with one of my colleagues about using adaptive cards and AI, and how we can bring the conversations into life. How we can use the adaptive cards to make better user interactions, get faster response from the customers, make the conversations more creative, and use cases where you can use adaptive cards, in which businesses, where you have used it until now, and etc. And also last year I was at that conference. I was just exhibitor, and also I was attending the conference.
But now returning as a speaker.
I learned a lot on that conference for Copilot Studio and also other Microsoft AI products, and I wanted to return the favor this year and
give some
teach the people,
contribution.
give back to the community that gave me knowledge, to share the knowledge with everyone.
I hope you'll have a great time.
Yeah, and other thing I wanted to mention at the end, with the latest group of interns, we are implementing AI as they're part of the internship, and I hope it will continue, and that will help us increase our AI team with more people, and that we can solve more challenges and create more beautiful products, and use AI for the best.
Yeah, I agree.
I think that's it for today, and I hope we were not
too boring.
too boring, and that you've learned a lot. So thank you for listening.
The pleasure was mine attending.